Today I thought I'd show you how quick and easy it is to use the Cricut design space to create some awesome cards in a hurry. So I've opened the Cricut design space and I want to start a new project, so I'll just go to the top right hand corner and left click on new project, and that just opens up a blank canvas for me. I will go to images and I can either search by going up the top here to categories, and for holidays, because this is going to be a holiday card, I can go in and click on that, do it that way, or type in something that I want to search, or go back to the page that opened up and I can type in here. Now I have already been in here looking at some of the wonderful Christmas images, so some of them are already coming up. Aren't they fun? There's so much to choose from, and because they're kind of, some of them are templates, cards, cuts, some are images that draw. You can make a card in a hurry really easily. Alright, so focus. I'm going to search Merry Christmas. Now I want to do a word Christmas card, like die cut the word Merry Christmas. So basically I just scroll until I find one that I like and want to use. That's pretty cool with the circle. When I left click on it, it will drop it down to the bottom here, and that's going to help add it to my canvas when I'm ready. Gee, there's some cool ideas. I like that one too. How simple would that be to make that one with the holly? No, this one's fun. I'm going to drop that one down too. Okay, so once I've found the ones that I want to add to my canvas, I can just go down to the bottom right here and click on Add to Canvas. So these are both really cool. Okay, I'm just going to hide this red one. If I left click on it, see how this whole group over here goes grey? That means that's the one I've clicked on. And I can left click on the eye icon, and that's just going to hide that. It's really easy to change up the designs to suit what you want to do. I actually only want to cut the Merry Christmas portion of this image. Now I want to make this easier for you to see, so to do that I'm just going to change the color. So I'll go to Color Sync, and then I can just drag the white Merry Christmas card front up to the background yellow area, and that's just going to change it to the same color. And go back to my layers, and I do want to get rid of this background layer. I'm only going to be working on the front layer here, and I can do that by hiding, clicking on the eye icon over here, and that's going to hide that. The other thing that I want to do is actually remove this portion of the card front. I like to use my own card bases, something nice and heavy, like 110 pound. So I don't like to cut that in the Cricut. It's much easier to cut a thinner weight card, like an 80 pound or even lighter weight. So to get rid of that, I'm just going to go over to my shapes tool here, grab a square image, and I'll just unlock this so that I can make it into a rectangle. Oh, actually, do you want me to go a little bit bigger so you can see what I'm doing? Down the bottom left here, I can make the image bigger just by clicking on the plus sign here. but it doesn't change the actual parameters of what I'm cutting. The cut size is still the same. So now you might better see I have unlocked the symbol on the square, and that means that I can make it into a rectangle or whatever shape I want. Rectangle-y square. So I'm basically going to cover the area that I want to remove. Just want to remove my score line. I can do that by hiding that there. Now I will drag my rectangle over, place it down the center of the card, select all, and then I can come down to slice. And basically what that's done, it's separated all these pieces, so now I can just delete all of those. How easy is that? This is a really easy program to use. Okay, so now I want to change this to be an A2 size for a card front. Now I can drag it with the arrow, and you can see it will change up here in the size portion of the card. Or I can actually type in the size that I want. Now currently the proportions are locked, you can tell by the lock key here. So when I type in the number of 1, which is 13.9 centimeters, which is 5.5 inches, what happens is the width will adjust accordingly, but I want the width to be 4.25, so I can unlock the proportions here and type in the exact width that I want for the front of my card, which is 10.8 centimeters, and press enter. And that looks really cute. So now we better get making, because we're going to do fast cards, weren't we? And all I've done is a lot of talking. So I'm going to go to Make It in the top right corner and click on the Make It button. I've only got one coloured mat because I've only got one cut to make, and it's a basic cut. I don't have any pens or anything, so this is going to be really easy to do. I do want to cut this a few times. I want to make a couple of different versions of this card, and I also want to multiply my cuts, so it's really easy to do in this section. I could have done this before I started, but when I go project copies, I can just increase the number of times I'm going to cut it. And then hit apply. And that's going to fit 4 times on one mat, as long as I've got a piece of cardstock that is large enough to cut that. So I'm going to be using a 12 by 12 piece of basil marshmallow cardstock today. Next I'm going to choose my cardstock by hitting continue down in the lower right corner. And I need to choose what cardstock I'm going to be using. So I'm going to go to the heavyweight 100 £, and I'm going to add more pressure here, as it just defaults to normal pressure. The default pressure, sorry, or you can do less if you're doing a thin weight cardstock, but I like to use more pressure on the heavyweight. And then I can just load my machine. So because I'm using the heavyweight cardstock, I have used a standard mat. This is the green coloured mat here. And to load it into the machine, I just press the flashing, it looks like kind of an arrow button. Once it's loaded, ready to go, I just need to press the Cricut symbol, which is also flashing. And I can keep an eye on the progress on my computer screen as well. Now I cut this out twice, so that's going to give me a total of 8 images, and I'm going to be making 4 cards. So this did take a little while to cut. So while it was doing that, I did go to my stash and I chose out some design paper. Yes, I know, design paper. I rarely use it. I love to buy it. I love to look at it. I love to hoard it. So I thought it'd be a good idea to get some of my papers out, and you could really use whatever you want. So it'd be great to have a look at your stash and see what you've got. So then it was just a matter, I did peel off all of the images, and it's quite easy to do. They're not too intricate, and I found to get all the excess pieces off the cardstock, there's a couple of good tools. Now it's the scrapey wide tool worked the best for this. I will link that and all of the products that I've used in the description below, and I'll also make note of the actual image that I've used, or the card that I've used from the design space too, so you can check that out. I've gone with 4 quite different looks today. I've got a plaid, a shiny green foil cardstock, a snowflake background, and a glittery background. It's a pastel glitter, this one, which is really sweet, but you could use anything here. Seriously, it really went really well. And you could cut the image out of a coloured cardstock, or even black would look awesome as well. So for my plaid image, which is from the Memory Box Christmas plaid set, I think it was from last year's release for Christmas, I simply just added 1 layer of the cut out Merry Christmas on top of that. So this would be a great card to post. This second one that I'm using is it's called the Foiled Cardstock Stack, and it's from DCWV. And what I wanted to do, something a little bit different here, is I'm actually layering up 2 of these images that have been cut out, and I just like to do that to give it a little bit of extra strength. So I'm using a liquid glue to do that, but then I'm also going to add another one of the I keep going to say die cut, one of the cut images directly to the card front. Now, the reason I've done this is because I want to actually pop up the second layer so it just has that depth behind there. So I have added a lot of foam tape behind all of these letters and around the edge as well, and that just gives it a little bit of dimension, shadow, and some interest. This foil cardstock, you turn it on different angles and it looks almost gold. It's really pretty. The next one, I've decided to make a couple of shaker cards, and I'm adding some acetate. Now I did double up the Merry Christmas again. I just used my chisel glue pen to quickly join those together, and I've got some. Now this probably came out, I don't know, I think I've had this crystal since mid 2007. It's got an English label on it, like for the price, so I must have got it when I was living over in the UK. So that was in 2006 to 2008, so I've had it a very long time. And for the last one I did a second shaker as well, and this time I've got the Pretty Pink Posh iridescent mini stars confetti, and these just give that, the glitter cardstock, I think it just adds a whole nother element of glitter, shine, and fun. And I did pop up the front of these cards, obviously, because they were shaker cards, and made sure that I had no gaps around the back. So really simple cards today. I hope you were inspired to have a look in the design space and see what you can adapt and make some fun Christmas designs. Thanks so much for joining me. If you enjoyed today's video, please click on the thumbs up button. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. I love every visit you make here. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.